Good afternoon and welcome to one and all attending the webinar. So, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Hina Kausar. I am Sales and Marketing Executive in MEA region. So, along with me today, the presenters for the session are Javier Aguado, who is our Global Cloud Director, and Eduardo Kelling, our Senior Cloud Solutions Architect. So let's quickly look into the agenda for the session. So firstly, we will hear from Javier, who will be giving a short introduction on My Cloud Door and discussing on the security challenges that SAP faces today. It's always interesting to hear from an expert about the latest trends and changes in the industry. So then followed by Eduardo presenting on SAP Continuous threat monitoring, and also he'll be giving a live demo of some of the tools that My Cloud Door offers to keep your SAP system secure. So I think you will find this presentation both informative and exciting. Finally, we will have a Q&A session. Please take this opportunity to get your questions answered and to learn more about how My Cloud Door help your organization. So now I will hand it over to Javier to take this event further. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hina, for the introduction. So I'm Javier Aguado, Cloud Service Director at MyCloudDoor. I joined the company at the beginning of 2016 as a Global Cloud Service Director, and I'm taking care of the technology strategy and pre-sales in Europe and Middle East and Africa. So today we came to speak one topic which is really important for most of you and most of our customers, which is the security and specifically how we can apply this security for SAP environments, considering not only the infrastructure and the architecture, but also the application itself. So at the end, we are going to see how cyber threats right now are on a rise. You see that on the news every day. Also, why SAP applications are sometimes vulnerable because the security for their applications are being separated or isolated from the rest of the security of the company. So at the end, we'll come to see why monitoring security is essential and why you should care about this and how you can avoid to being hacked or to being attacked, specifically for the SAP systems. Before going into the specifics of the presentation, I want just to make a quick introduction about who we are, MyCloudDoor, and what do we do. So at the end, we are a 100% cloud company founded in the US more than 10 years ago, with offices all over Americas, Europe, Middle East, and India, where we recently opened a delivery center less than 1 month ago. Our services help the companies through the whole journey, from the early beginning, the discovery phases, where we help them with cloud consulting services to define the right cloud strategy and how to approach to the cloud computing. Then we do cloud transformation projects, where we provide cloud migration services, Sec DevOps, cloud data and adoption services, etc., where we implement, adopt cloud computing for our customers. Then in the third phase, in the optimization phase, we provide managed cloud services from our delivery centers in Middle East, India, Europe, and Latin America, providing follow the sun services, and also help them to focus on the cost, which is really important, with FinOps practices and cloud review and optimization assessment. And at last, in the innovation phase, we work with more advanced cloud technology, helping you to establish multi-cloud and hybrid architectures, deploying more advanced business solutions in the data and AI space with machine learning, Azure OpenAI, IoT, etc. And also we provide cloud automation and RPA projects. These services, we apply it in 4 different perspectives: the cloud platform, SAP on cloud, security and identity, which is key for any cloud project, and data analytics. And you'll see how we are going to, or how we apply this in the cloud platform for SAP on cloud and with the security perspective. So at the end, the additional or differentiation value that we provide is this unique cloud expertise. Also, our own agile cloud methodology to ensure this successful transition to the cloud. And also that we have developed IT solutions and proprietary tools to help to accelerate the projects and ensure that we can do it in a repeatable and compliant way. So when talking about SAP security monitoring, we find some challenges in most of the companies that have SAP. First of all, is that sometimes the SAP team lacks the skill and the experience to monitor the security of the systems. At the same time, security people is lacking the capabilities and the knowledge of SAP environments and how they work and how they interact. So we are finding these two work separated, SAP and security. Then for sure, you know that SAP systems can be very complex because of its criticality, the different parts of the company they interact, and then they have so much interfaces and integrations with internal systems and with external entities. And this comes with the next challenge. Sometimes it's really difficult to monitor all these third-party access and integrations that we have. For sure, you know that and more in the times that we are living, there are some budget constraints. So we are really concerned about cost efficiency. And we are finding it difficult to have this compliant and overall security policies. So we are finding isolated security policies from the different applications. Then, for sure, we need to balance the security with the ease of use. If we have a very advanced security solution that gives us hundreds of thousands of alerts every day, would be really difficult to process and to work with that. So we need to find the balance. And you know that cyber threats evolve really fast. So we need to keep up and be updated and try to be fighting with the latest technology and against the latest threats. Specifically for SAP, and one SAP sometimes supposes a security risk inside the companies. First of all, is because attacking SAP provides a high return for the hackers. It has financial data, critical data for the business, critical business process. So hackers are very interested sometimes in attacking SAP applications. Then the attack area is very large. We are having most of our users working with SAP, but also external users, integration with internal systems, integration with third parties. So it's really complex to control the whole attack area. Then any unauthorized access inside the SAP system, as soon as a user is able to go there, we can provide data breaches, access to non-compliant information that we should monitor that. For sure, if we have any system failure, although they are not stealing information, they will be damaging so much to our business because so many critical processes run through SAP. And we need to take into consideration not only third-party risks, but also insider threats. So we need to also monitor and to control that our users inside SAP are not making things with our company that are not allowed. In terms of the types of SAP security monitoring that we need to consider, the full SAP stack. So it's really important to monitor and control the application logs. So how the users are being working inside SAP. So which transactions, which business processes, which limits are they working. Also the roles. To guarantee that the financial user only can work and activate financial processes, but not a logistic one. So how we define these roles, and then the perimeter and the things that are outside SAP. So the network security, which type of connections I'm having with SAP, how we are doing all the vulnerability scanning, and also the penetration testing. So we can have both what is happening inside SAP and outside SAP. The benefits for implementing this type of security monitoring are that we will have early detection of any kind of cyber threats that we have for the system. We will reduce the risk of any kind of data breach, and we will reduce the attack area that we are exposing. If we are in a regulated industry, we can improve the compliance. We'll have also a better visibility on how the users are working and interacting. And we can provide and we can improve the response for any incident or threat. And at last, which is really important, also we will protect the company reputation in case that we are not going to be on the news telling that we have an attack. So saying that the best practices for SAP monitoring should be, first of all, developing the security strategy, and this security strategy should be aligned with the company security policies. So we cannot think about an isolated environment for SAP, but a solution for my whole company. Then we need to establish the specific policies and procedures, and we should update it regularly to be keep up to date the latest threats. For sure, this should be audited for an external party to guarantee that we are having everything in control, and we should also train our employees on the best practices. So saying that, I will leave the stand to my colleague, Eduardo Killing, a senior cloud solutions architect here at MyCloudor, and also a Microsoft MVP, which will talk you about how technically we implement this solution and which solution are we bringing for doing a full monitoring and control over our SAP systems on the cloud. Eduardo, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Javier. Well, my name is Eduardo Killing. I am a Brazilian living in Madrid. Okay. I'm also a Microsoft MVP, as Javier said. Okay. I have a degree in computer science and a master's degree in applied computing. And I also have a lot of certifications since the on-premises world to the cloud. Okay. So let's talk about Azure Sentinel. Azure Sentinel is a scalable cloud-native solution, okay, that provides intelligent security and threat analysis across our enterprise. Okay, it's a CM, security, information, and event management, and SOAR, security, orchestration, automation, response. Okay. This solution can get a single solution for attack detection, okay, and incident response across our enterprise. So the Azure Sentinel can get a lot of events, logs from many sources. So he can connect in sources like SAP, of course, that we will talk in this event. Microsoft 365, Microsoft Azure. You can get some events and logs from FortiGate, Cisco, many type of applies. Okay, so in the demo we can show. I can show you the connectors. Okay, but you can connect in a lot of sources, get all these events, all these logs in a central repository, and you can analyze these events and get hunt, okay, for some behavior and create some automation. The important thing, Azure Sentinel can analyze more than petabytes daily. Okay, has a support for many standard of logs. Okay, if it doesn't have some templates for some connector, you can connect, for example, in syslog, that it's a common type of connector that you have in Linux, for example. And how it works? Okay, first of all, you can collect. Okay, you need to collect these events. For example, in Microsoft services, as I said, Microsoft 365, Azure, some apps, user infrastructure, public clouds. Even AWS, GCP, you can connect all these events. Some security solutions, as I said, Cisco, Palo Alto, Fortinet, Checkpoint, some solutions by Symantec. Okay, so you can connect all these. You can collect all these events and create a single visibility, a single dashboard that you can see all these events. Analyze, detect, investigate, and hunt. So you can get all these events and detect some behavior that we not expected in this environment. For example, a user is trying to connecting from unknown network. Okay, so you can get the event from the file, okay, and you can get the event from the applications, for example, the SAP. So you can trace all this path to detect that this is not a common behavior inside of our company. And with this information, Azure Sentinel can create alerts, okay? And with the integration with LogicApps, it's a platform as a services for automations that we have inside of Microsoft Azure, okay? You can create some automations to be proactive. For example, when this event, I can create a ticket inside of our ITSM tool like ServiceNow. I can run some script, okay, to prevent the user or deny this user or deny this IP. Or can I send a simple mail with the reporting that these events happen in my company? Okay, so the possibilities that we have with this orchestration, it's huge. Okay, so you have a lot of possibilities to create some automations here. This is an architectural example, okay, for the SAP solutions. For example, in the left, we have the SAP solutions, we have the database, you have your application S4, okay? And you have a gateway connector, is a small VM with a Docker, okay? That can connect in your SAP environment, collect your data, okay? And storing a log analytics workspace. And then with these logs, Azure Sentinel can analyze, detect some behaviors, and create some automation with the LogicApp. Of course, you have in this diagram, for example, you have the connector, okay? You can for SAP solutions. You have for Azure AD, and you have for Cisco, Palo Alto, and another kinds of service, okay? The main thing here is you can create, you can collect all these logs, all these events, and create a correlationship, okay, and detect some behavior that you're not expecting in your environment. Okay, about SAP thread monitoring. It's a continuous monitor SAP systems for thread at all layers, okay? So Microsoft and SAP has developed inside of my Azure Sentinel a lot of rules, templates that can detect some behaviors that is not expected, okay, to create these alerts and create these automations to be proactive, okay. Detect, for example, privilege escalation, unapproved changes, and more with out-of-box detections, okay. Of course, you can have this. You can have these templates, but you can customize your all templates. Okay, if you have something there inside of your company that you need to take care about to create some monitoring alerts about this tool, this transaction inside of SAP, for example, you can analyze it and create this rule, okay, inside of my Azure Sentinel. This, for example, it's a bundle that we provide for our clients. Okay, it's for rules and some actions. For example, in these rules, we have multiple subnets by user. So if a user is trying to connect from multiple subnets, okay, it's a same user from multiple subnets. This is a not common behavior. Assign of a sensitive roles. For example, inside of our SAP, a user is trying to assign a sensitive role, okay? A transaction unlocked. If a user is it's unlocked, it's trying to unlock a transaction that is not permitted by the company. Okay, multiple files download. So a user is trying to someday trying to download a lot of files. Okay, and this of course is not a common behavior. So it's trying to get some information and steal some information. Okay. For example, a user is trying to change client configuration. So in the client of SAP is trying to make some change. A tentative of brute force attack. For example, a user is trying to log in our SAP system with many users, many passwords. Okay, of course, this is not common behavior. And as I said, this is a template, a bundle that we provide for our clients, but we have a lot of these templates inside of the solution. And of course, we need, when we detect this behavior in our events and logs, we need to create some automated action. Okay. For example, we have here in option 1, we can send an email. Okay, to for our SOC team. You can deny the IP in the network security group. For example, a user is trying to connect for an unknown network or the unexpected IP. So I can create automate that when we detect this alert, okay, this incident, I can create an automation to deny this IP in a proactive way, okay, in a network security group. It's like a file that we have in our Azure, okay, that's just controls the control access plane in our environment, okay. In the third option, we can deny a user inside of SAP. Of course, we can create some rules inside of the environments, okay, in the firewall, in the network, and then we can create these rules inside of SAP. For example, deny the user or block some query or something else, okay. And the fourth option, you can create a ticket, okay, to report this for our service desk or even the SOC team. This is a bundle that we provide for our clients that we can usually implement this in only 2 weeks, okay? The first day, we need to talk with the client, to get some requirements, do a kickoff. In the first week and the second week, we do the deployment and the configuration of this tool, okay? It's really simple to do this implementation, okay? With these standards that I already mentioned. And at the final week, okay, in the last day of the second week, we can close this, okay, with a training for our clients, okay, to how can manage the tool, how can create some rules and kind of things, okay. The main thing is we can implement a lot of rules, okay, that will be provided by SAP and Microsoft. And if you need some customization, we can talk and discuss this bundle package of ours to deployment this new rule, okay? So let's see in a demo in practical, okay? In this demo, you see you have a SAP solution, okay, that the user is trying to do some transaction in SE06. I have a connector that connects in this SAP environment, database and application, and then this will be stored in our log analytics, and then will be analyzed through our Sentinel. And at the end, you'll create some automation. In this case, I will send an email to notify that I've alert on a normal behavior, unexpected behavior happened in my environment. Let's see the console. Okay, this is the portal. This is the Microsoft Sentinel. I have here the data connectors. It's open. Okay, as you can see, it has a lot of data connectors that predefined. Akamai, Amazon, AWS, Apache, Azure AD, Azure Firewall, of course, all the products from Microsoft. Okay, Cisco, Citrix. Okay, in our case, has one connector developed called SAP. Okay, Microsoft extension of our SAP. And in this connector, okay, here status is connected. This is the agent that we have connected through our virtual machine that I mentioned before. That we need a virtual machine with a small Docker container, okay, that we can use to connect in our SAP environment and collect the data. Okay. With these logs and events, we need to create some analytics rules, okay? So in rule templates, we already have for SAP a lot of rules predefined by SAP and Microsoft, okay? This is the rules that I mentioned before, multiple subnets by user. A user is trying to connect by multiple subnets. Multiple files downloads, we have a lot here. Deactivation of security of dish logs. So some user is trying to deactivate in SAP the logs. Okay. Let me see something. Okay. This we can define. It's of course is defined by SAP. For example, sensitive tables, direct access by dialog.logon. So this is predefined by SAP, so you can get, for example, this rule and edit this rule. You can create a properly rule for the company. Login for an unexpected network, sensitive rules change. Okay, for some users trying to change some rule inside of the SAP. Okay, let me check more. Multiple logons by IP. So are some from, for example, I'm trying to connect from my IP, okay, from my computer with many users, okay, inside of the SAP. So this is not a common behavior. So Sageno can detect this, create the incident, and then you can create some automation to notify something or to block something. Okay, the possibilities here it's huge. Okay, with this analytics configured in our environment, so we have these incidents. Okay, for example, here we have a system configuration change. System change option of software components modification using S06 transactions code. Okay, for example, some user is trying to use SE06, okay, to make some changes in the SAP system. We can check the full details of this incident. Okay, we have here all the entities involved. So the application, S4, the HANA database, okay, the server, the account that is trying to change something, and all the changes that has been made for this user. So if you click in this investigate, this is really nice. So you can report this for your business business department. Okay. For example, here we have a map. Okay, from the incident, the user. You can get the information of the user, the application, the database that are involved, and all the changes that has been made for this user. So you can check all this through this map. So it's really nice to do to get this and create a report for the business department. Of course, when you have this incident, you can create some automation. This is the logic app designer. For example, in this case, I have an automated thing to create a mail. For example, detect the incident, get this incident, check all the entities that are involved. Okay, it's really easy. It's really it's graphical, easy to change, and for each incident, okay, send a mail. For example, in this case, for me, you can put a group in your mail environment, okay, to notify about this behavior. Okay, let me check something here. Okay, this is the email that has been generated about this incident, SAP system configuration change. Of course, this is it's only an example, so you can put a logo, you can modify this as you want. Okay, so in this case, I put some information here. So the user that is trying to change, okay, and the description. Identify the in the rule, okay, the thing that his user is trying to change. Okay, and you have incident rules that you can check it directly in the portal about this incident. So let's get here. So for conclusion about this tool. Is a central repository that you can get all events, all logs for all your environments. Okay, this is really important because you have only one solution. It's a cloud native to has stored all this data, and at the power of the artificial intelligence, okay, you can detect and hunt some normal or unexpected behaviors inside of your environment. Okay, I don't know if you, Javier, want to say something here? Okay, guys. So this is the tool. Okay, we can deeply demonstrate this for you if you want. Okay, of course I did an overview only this tool, but the main thing here is simple. You can get a lot of the events, a lot of the logs in a central repository. You can analyze these logs. You can hunt about the unexpected behaviors, okay, and create some automation, okay. For example, like I said, for example, a user is trying to connect for an unexpected network, so you can deny the user, you can deny this IP in a proactive way, or just notify, just create a mail for the SOC team. So if you have some questions, now it's the time, okay? Of course, we will send this by email for you. If you need to, you remember something or need to discuss, okay? We are open to discuss this with you. So thank you guys for staying here with us. And Ina is by you now.
Yeah, thank you so much.